This morning, we're talking about Java. Now, we know that Java is a computer language that's used for virtually a lot of programming, but the Department of Homeland Security has stepped in because there's some issues evolving around Java. Of course, our tech expert, Steve Miano, here to dive all in there. All right, first of all, what is Java?
It's not just coffee, Fraendy. Java it's a programming language for a computer system that doesn't exist. Now, that's going to kind of blow your mind, but basically, these guys got together and they said, hey, we need a programming language that will work on all platforms, cross-platform, Mac, PC, Linux, Android tablets, smartphones, microwaves, Blu-ray players, everything.
Right.
Essentially, that's what Java is. So
I see it a lot of times with Java plugin or Java not plugged in or something.
That's it's frequently used to plug into your web browser to allow you to run. They're called Java applets. It's used a lot in the financial industry, in the medical industry, and a lot in the malware industry now. What we've seen is, used to be the bad guys would go after Windows. You know, they'd hack Windows XP security, stuff like that. They're now going after vulnerabilities in these programs that are kind of cross-platform. Java is full of Swiss cheese security holes right now.
Really?
I think over 86 in the past year have been identified.
Wow. So how did the Department of
Homeland Security got involved.
Yeah.
They basically stepped in and put a statement out because pretty much every computer that the government uses has Java on it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of government programs use Java. They discovered what's called a zero-day threat. Basically, when a hack or a viral infection is they usually find it in a lab, then the bad guys exploit it. Java jar, which is the one that they're kind of worried about, that actually was found in the wild, actively being used to hack computers before they found it in the lab. So they don't know how long has this been going on, blah, 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 blah. So they basically said, disable Java. Now, you don't necessarily need to uninstall Java from your computer, but I would recommend that you disable the browser plugin, because that's kind of the doorway into your machine for these bad guys. Now, Oracle has put out an update that fixes this and a number of other vulnerabilities, but security experts are still saying that Swiss cheese would be the cheese of choice when referring to Java. So you got to be real careful.
So what are we talking about here? So why are these people targeting Java of all things? Why Java especially?
Well, what they've found is the more that the bad guys have delved into it, the more that it's easy to exploit. Java's supposed to run in what's called a sandbox. And anything that happens in the sandbox, it's not supposed to be able to get out of that sandbox and affect your computer. But they've found, especially with Java jar, it's hitting Windows computers, Linux computers, Unix computers, which traditionally you think, only Windows computers get viruses. But
so is it a virus though?
Well, it's malware. Yeah, so because it's kind of the new term, because a lot of these bad guys are using layered threats, layered approaches to hack your machine. This exploit in Java being just one of the tools in their arsenal.
Wow. Federal government stepping in, Department of Homeland Security once again. So what are they recommending at this point, Stephen?
Well, it's a little unclear. They're disabling it on a lot of their machines, or flat out uninstalling it if it's not necessary.
Right.
A lot of people use Java. A lot of bank websites, a lot of medical companies use Java for that sort of thing. I know Blue Cross Blue Shield, I think, invests a lot of money in Java programmers. So it's necessary in a lot of businesses.
So definitely a ripple effect when it comes down to the consumers.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, there's big dollars at play here, and keeping it up to date, because Oracle's under a lot of pressure to fix this. This is a big bloody nose for them, because this is one of their flagship consumer products.
Yeah, they're almost their bread and butter. Almost.
Yeah, and with it being so troublesome, the bad press alone is gonna put a hurt on Java.
Yeah. All right, and Miano, really quick, we're talking about Facebook, the newness of it. Give us a little teaser. What do you have to say
I wanted
about
to talk about this new search thing.
There's something new with Facebook?
I think it's pretty bold, and early indications, and we probably are going to talk about this next week when we know more, early indications show that it may be a terrible idea, because if you've ever liked something that is awkward or weird or disagreeable and you didn't make that private, it's now on that search. So I saw last night some people who liked some pretty terrible things they probably didn't actually like those things.
Right,
but
right.
like if someone's Facebook profile was named weird and they liked a picture that somebody posted,
Uh-huh.
there were some pretty embarrassing images.
Oh,
So
wow.
I am terrified, honestly,
About this
of what this is going to mean. Yeah, I may just cancel my Facebook account and start a new one just so
Yeah.
I don't look like I'm digging something that I really don't. So
All right, everyone. Stephen Miano, owner of That Computer Store out in Irmo. Thank you so much, Stephen, for telling us
Thanks
about
for
Java,
having me,
as
yeah.
well as informing us about, of course, yet another Facebook
big
change.
Facebook thing.